Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. Brooke is ambushed by Taylor backstage as the fashion show begins. According to Thursday, April 24th teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor Hayes will surprise Brooke Logan backstage as the fashion show begins. Everyone at Forrester Creations will have a busy day since they are going to present their most recent couture creations and host an event that will create a lot of attention. Let's talk about the VIPs since there will be some special visitors who will help celebrate this momentous occasion. Join Steffi Forrester, Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and other celebrities for the celebrations, including reality TV stars Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. Fans can expect to see content producer Markel Washington join in on the fun alongside Heidi and Spencer. In order to make this the fashion event of the century, a large number of influencers, photographers, news reporters, and models will be there. Has even planned a crossover with The Young and the Restless since Christine Blair is going to Los Angeles for the ultimate fashion display. As Eric Forrester and the rest of the Forrester family get ready to unveil their newest couture creations, Christine will be delighted to provide her assistance. Taylor will storm in as Brooke is in a backstage room getting ready for the event. Taylor will confront Brooke, and it turns out that they will both be imprisoned behind the door that Taylor slams. Even though Taylor has no intention of locking them up together, Brooke will still hold her accountable. Given that Brooke and Taylor will disappear just as the fashion show starts, this couldn't have happened at a worse moment. That will exacerbate the tension that Taylor and Brooke already deal with on a daily basis. Brooke and Taylor will undoubtedly argue about Ridge Forrester on Thursday's episode because he usually serves as the focal point of their feud. There will be some uncomfortable moments as they exchange insults and accusations since Taylor will continue to forecast that Ridge would spend his future with her rather than Brooke. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke and Taylor's confrontation will intensify as the week comes to an end. Stay tuned for more drama. Eric's mystery, 2 special guests, and the magic of the fashion show. Finally, the Thursday, April 24th, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful recap is available. Fans can anticipate Forrester Creations preparing for a major fashion display in tomorrow's episode. Many reporters, influencers, and even reality TV stars Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt will be present. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Don't forget to check out our spoilers for next week, here. Fashion show for Forrester Creations. Fans can anticipate that the Forrester Creations crew will be getting ready for a major fashion display in tomorrow's episode. Eric Forrester said the dresses needed extra modifications after Brooke Logan gushed over them from the vault. Since Eric stated that he still had a few hours to do it, it didn't seem like a big deal. Compared to the last time he attempted to complete designs, Eric doesn't appear to be under as much pressure or stress. Naturally, things were a little different. Magic Mystery by Eric Forrester. Eric exclaims to Christine and Ridge Forrester as models prepare and cameras snap shutters. Eric believes there will be a little magic and intrigue while holding long-stemmed glasses of bubbly. He has a huge surprise in store because there is a gleam in his eye as he says it. Naturally, when Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, chooses to ambush Brooke in a storage closet, this surprise could be wrecked. Christine Blair is back. According to previews for the upcoming episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Christine may not be returning for the fashion show. Fans remember that Daniel Romalotti, Jr., Michael Damian, had struck a contract with Forrester Creations prior to the takeover. Could there be legal repercussions now that the family has regained control of the business? We'll see. Christine was the attorney involved in that transaction. Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt make an appearance. There will be 2 special appearances, it is hinted. Pratt and Montag are at the fashion presentation for Forrester Creations. Heidi and Spencer are welcomed by Steffi Forrester Finnegan, who compliments them on their attendance. Can Steffi hide because she recently learned that Liam Spencer has an incurable brain tumor? That's a huge emotional bombshell, and for anyone, having to go to a public work function is a lot. We'll see how Steffi responds to this and whether she can even fulfill her commitment to Liam. Ridge's one-sided love triangle revealed, the reason Brooke wins his heart time and again. The unending love triangle in The Bold and the Beautiful exposes a startling reality. Brooke haunts Ridge while he is with Taylor, yet Ridge never considers Taylor when he is with Brooke. The truth is revealed by Ridge's heart. Despite Taylor's reunion, broken remains his destiny. The Bold and the Beautiful's everlasting love triangle has taken yet another dramatic turn, but decades of Ridge Forrester's back and forth between Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan have shown a striking pattern. History reveals a fact that even Ridge cannot avoid, despite his efforts to forge a future with Taylor in the wake of the Forrester Creations takeover drama. A decade-long triangle defined by a one-sided obsession. When Ridge is with Brooke, he is totally focused on their relationship and doesn't think about Taylor at all. However, Brooke follows him around like an unabated shadow when he is with Taylor. This unsettling imbalance explains why Ridge keeps returning to Brooke, even if he has the best of intentions with Taylor. After more than 30 years of drama, 8 marriages, and innumerable breakups, the pattern has recurred. When Brooke upsets him, Ridge might turn to Taylor, as he did following the recent Forrester takeover that Hope and Carter planned, but his heart tells who really occupies his mind. History is truthful, the pattern of Ridge's return to Broken. The evidence goes back decades, so this isn't just conjecture. Ridge married Brooke in 1994, when Taylor was thought to be dead, and called her the true love of his life. Even after Taylor's miraculous reappearance in 1995, Ridge first remained with Brooke before circumstances compelled him to return to Taylor. Even then, the mixed emotions were clear. In 2006, Ridge found the ideal justification to go back to Brooke after Taylor confessed to a previous affair, admitting that his heart had always belonged to her. After briefly dating Taylor in 2011, he quickly returned to Brooke after Thomas's deception was revealed, revealing his true primary attachment. The same screenplay is being played out in 2025. Ridge has once again turned to Taylor for solace following Brooke's role in the drama surrounding the acquisition of Forrester Creations. There is a limit to this reunion, though, if history is any indication. Taylor is worthy of being more than Ridge's second choice. The writing is on the wall, even as Taylor rejoices at what she considers to be her last triumph against her opponent. According to people close to the show, Brooke is already preparing a sincere appeal to win Ridge back, and history suggests that he will eventually change his mind. The ongoing pattern is exemplified by the recent altercation in which Taylor saw Brooke making another move for Ridge. Perhaps Taylor could ask why Ridge is unable to fully commit to her without Brooke's shadow hanging over them, even though she may be incensed at her rival's tenacity. Blinded by her own desire to see her family come together again, Steffy Forrester keeps pushing for her parents' reunion. But at what price did her mother's honor suffer? After helping innumerable patients as a competent psychiatrist, shouldn't Taylor be able to see this dangerous trend in her own relationship? The pattern of psychology that keeps Ridge trapped. Despite all of her imperfections, Ridge finds that Brooke embodies fire, adventure, and the unpredictable, qualities that repeatedly entice him back despite Taylor's steadiness and empathy. This explains why he is totally absorbed in Brooke's world while he is with them, but his time with Taylor frequently feels like a makeshift storm shelter. Although she didn't specifically answer why Ridge continues going back to Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang recently acknowledged the triangle's enduring power, referring to it as magic. The pattern of his behavior suggests the answer. Taylor is the safe haven he turns to when things become difficult, whereas Brooke is his true north. Triangle fueling Forrester family dynamics. Steffy and Thomas Forrester's long-standing wish to see their parents reunited adds even more complexity to the current circumstance. Reunions in the past have been influenced by their manipulation. Do you recall when Thomas fabricated a CPS call to incriminate Brooke and drive Ridge to Taylor? Ridge finally found his way back to Taylor despite that lie being revealed, demonstrating how outside influences still affect his romantic choices. Tension in the Forrester-Logan quarrel has increased as a result of Brooke's daughter Hope Logan becoming embroiled in her own romantic turmoil with Carter Walton. Hope is now a pariah at Forrester Creations as a result of the corporate takeover that forced Ridge to return to Taylor this time. Despite this, Brooke is adamant about standing up for Ridge, implying that she is aware of something Taylor is not, that Ridge's heart is ultimately hers. Views from the public on Ridge's divided heart. For years, devoted viewers of the program have seen this trend. Viewers often point out on social media that Ridge never brings up Taylor while he and Brooke are getting along, but when they are together, he can't stop comparing the two. Many have questioned whether Ridge genuinely loves either lady or if he is just unable to be alone himself as a result of this one-sided passion. One fan wrote on the internet, "He's been doing this dance for decades. When will Taylor see that she is worthy of more than just being his fallback option?" Another said, "Have you noticed how Ridge rushed to Taylor right after following the altercation with Brooke? Classic pattern, he always goes back to his destiny even if he uses Taylor as a comfort blanket. Will it be different this time? Otherwise, history suggests." Longtime watchers know better than to expect this bliss to linger as Steffi celebrates the reuniting of her parents. Ridge may have temporarily returned to Taylor due to the dramatic aftermath from the Forrester Creations takeover, but the ultimate test will occur when Brooke's most recent reunion request compels him to face his actual emotions. We hope that Taylor will finally understand that she deserves to be the only person who thinks about her while they are together. Because Ridge will never be that man if history is any guide. The permanent Brooke-Ridge connection. The fact that Ridge forgives Brooke so easily for offenses that would destroy most couples is perhaps the most telling. He may briefly flee to Taylor due to affairs or professional betrayals, but his connection to Brooke will always lure him back. It's a relationship that transcends logic, one that both Ridge and Brooke have defined as destiny throughout the years. History indicates that Ridge will eventually come back to Brooke, so the real question as she gets ready to argue for reconciliation is not whether he will. How much heartache will Taylor have to go through before she ultimately leaves this toxic triangle permanently? Steffi is acting as a cheerleader while Ridge and Taylor enjoy their reunion for the time being. However, Brooke waits in the background, calm and patient, knowing that Ridge's heart will eventually return to its rightful place. Liam is desperate in Taylor and Brooke's chaos. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, a mix-up at the CBS press office. As you may have observed, the spoilers for this week's episodes are very different from what we're really viewing. The fashion show, for example, was supposed to begin much earlier in the week, according to the official CBS spoilers, which are at least 2 days off. They mentioned the argument between Taylor and Brooke Logan on Tuesday, but it hasn't happened. Then, on Thursday, they recorded Steffi Forrester telling Finn that she should inform Liam Spencer, which actually occurred on Tuesday. Therefore, I have no idea what's happening in the press office right now. Early spoilers for April 28th to May 2nd of Bold and the Beautiful, Liam is desperate and Taylor and Brooke are in chaos. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, fixing the timeline. We will discuss what's going on this week, like we always do, because their days are out of order. The Bold and Beautiful stuff has gone crazy, so we're going to speak about what's going on for the remainder of this week without tying it to any particular days before we start talking about next week. It's really strange. Since I couldn't even anticipate what they're doing, I'm not sure if they're doing this because of the Liam issue or because they simply made a mistake. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Liam's terminal diagnosis and Steffi's heartbreak. You can expect more of Steffi being crushed by Liam's terminal diagnosis for the remainder of this week. Even though she informed him on Tuesday, we do anticipate that she will restate the details on Wednesday before Finn joins them. He will give precise medical information on the tumor and its implications. Steffi will now reveal the news. On Tuesday, she completed it. As they like to do, we'll reiterate that, and Finn will then confirm that it is terminal. No, it cannot be operated. I wonder whether they will offer an alternative. You know, radiation can often shrink brain tumors that are inoperable. Occasionally, even enough so that surgery can be performed on them. We shall see. Instead of giving him ambiguous "you're dying" information as we got with Eric Forrester, John McCook, perhaps they'll offer him accurate medical knowledge. However, Finn's use of the word tumor is already far more specific than Eric's first diagnosis for Bold. The brave and the lovely, Liam strikes back. Liam is not going to give up easily. He declares that he will not comply with this death sentence. This week, he makes a daring statement. However, he is worn out from what happened with Kelly Spencer, Sophia Pars McKinley, when he became lightheaded and was unable to read. He is well aware of the dire situation. Liam is unlikely to voluntarily return to the hospital, in my opinion. We shall see. Since it sounds like the physicians don't think there is much they can do, he might decline and instead begin searching for experimental therapy possibilities on his own. Naturally, Steffi is upset by Kelly's impending father's death. What is Liam's duration? Although Steffi accepts what Finn says and is certain that Liam is actually dying and that there is no way to stop it regardless of what he says, she respects Liam's attempt to put a positive light on it. I therefore wonder when they will inform him of his remaining time. Concerned about the impact Liam's passing will have on their family and her daughter Kelly, Steffi is turning to Finn for support. Because she also has a kid with Liam, I do wonder whether Steffi would refuse to keep the secret and go inform Hope Logan, Annika Noel, or if she will pressure Liam to go tell Hope. Looping Hope in is the appropriate thing to do. Drama in the Forrester Creations fashion show, spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. We may receive further preparatory materials at the office on Wednesday, but the fashion show is undoubtedly scheduled to begin on Thursday, the 24th, the first day of sweeps. Markel Washington, Lori Bell, Heidi Montag, and Spencer Pratt from WR are scheduled to make appearances starting on the 24th and perhaps continuing through the following Monday, the 28th. Therefore, next week's Thursday, Friday, and Monday are the planned dates for the fashion show. Naturally, Thursday sweeps also begin. It is possible that this is the first time that Taylor and Brooke argue. Additionally, Taylor and Brooke are first fighting over the show's seating arrangements. You know, Taylor could want to be next to Torsten Kay's character, Ridge Forrester. Brooke might not agree. We shall see. We shall see. Of course, it begins with small matters. They're going to go deeper backstage after their initial argument, you know. By mistake, Taylor and Brooke find themselves trapped in a storage closet. She shuts the door, and it seems to lock, making it impossible to exit from the inside. Why would you do that? Because it is designed to trap people and would not have a lock on the inside. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, what's Eric up to? So Taylor and Brooke each blame the other for them being stuck in there. Naturally, Taylor has already spotted Brooke wearing one of her tiny robes. She might therefore think she's planning something. Since I saw many comments on Soap's social media claiming that Eric was openly supporting Brooke and leaving that video playing, I'm starting to worry whether he's up to something with her. You see, Eric, the pickleball cheater, is himself an old waffler. Thus, pushing Ridge at Brooke isn't really out of character. However, he also concluded that Eric had also concluded that she had betrayed them, and now it all seemed to be gone. Spoilers for Taylor Hayes, Brooke Logan, and Liam Spencer in Bold and the Beautiful. Bold Blowup. The showstopper was locked up below. Ridge had just informed Brooke and Eric on Tuesday. I'm wondering whether Brooke will try to put on the showstopper to attract Ridge's attention after Eric encouraged her to do so and about the boat ride, and if Taylor will find out and try to stop her. That could be the root of their heated dispute. Ridge may be irritated because he has some things to say to both of them before the end of the week, which could be explained if the showstopper is in the closet they lock themselves in and arrives late for the show. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, faux pas at fashion shows? Additionally, we have behind-the-scenes footage from the Forrester Creations show featuring Electra Forrester, Will Spencer, and Katie Logan, Heather Tom. Perhaps as they search, they hear Brooke and Taylor pounding on the door to get assistance from the closet. Ridge then confronts Brooke and Taylor on their backstage mischief at his fashion show. Ridge is aware that Eric purposefully omitted that footage. He did appear thoughtful, though. Since Ridge and Brooke won't be reuniting anytime soon, I don't think it necessarily implies anything. At least not until Nick visits the city for Brooke after June 13th. That has already been decided. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke's future and Liam's battle for life. We will resume with the final day of the fashion shoot the following week, from April 28th to May 2nd. After that, Liam will start researching and seeking solutions for himself that the physicians don't believe exist. He will do everything in his power to avoid this death sentence and continue to be involved in his daughter's life. look for Liam to get back in touch with Bill Spencer. I assumed that Bill would do whatever in his power to find Liam a cure, so if he told him the truth, he could be able to help. Steffi dislikes seeing Liam in denial, and she can be concerned that he is squandering his remaining time searching for an unattainable treatment when he ought to be spending it with Kelly, Beth, and his loved ones. Additionally, Liam and Hope ought to have some long overdue scenes. Additionally, we must hope that Beth appears in those scenes as well, as she ought to. He and his only daughter shouldn't be the only ones. Brave spoilers, does Brooke need to remain calm? After the commotion at the fashion show, where Taylor and Ridge were tearing each other up and Brooke reiterated his rejection of her and his preference for Taylor, he is looking to the future. Brooke may need to take a break and refocus. Although I don't think she will give up on getting Ridge back entirely, perhaps Brooke will change her strategy. Naturally, Nick will be seeing her in Los Angeles in less than 6 weeks. Recurring actors Dick Christie as Charlie Weber and Jennifer Grice as Donna Logan are also returning. Although high-stakes drama is nothing new to the bold and the beautiful, the tension reaches explosive new heights during the renowned rivalry between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes, particularly when fashion is involved. Their decades-long hatred is far from finished, as seen by Taylor's deliberate and daring move against Brooke during a high-profile Forrester Creations fashion presentation. This startling turn of events has left fans in shock. However, what precisely did Taylor do? Was this the start of a full-scale conflict, a moment of retaliation, or a deliberate power play? And now that Taylor has publicly challenged Brooke in the one area they have always fought over, Ridge Forrester's heart and the company's legacy, how will Brooke react? The Scene, an unspoken fashion show with secret plans. Although the most recent runway show from Forrester Creations was meant to be a celebration of style and creativity, tensions were brewing behind the scenes. Ever the self-assured matriarch, Brooke had been asserting her power over Ridge and making sure her opinions were heard. Taylor, meanwhile, had been quietly watching, waiting for the proper opportunity to strike, having just returned to Los Angeles and reclaimed her position as a recognized psychiatrist and ally of the Forrester family. Filled with members of the Forrester family and business insiders, the fashion show turned into the ideal battlefield. Taylor's audacious step, justifiable retaliation or sabotage? Taylor intervened just as Brooke was ready to present her signature collection, which she had personally overseen. In a startling revelation, the show's last portion included drawings that were strikingly similar to Brooke's creations, but with a twist. The designs were more refined, edgier, and unmistakably Taylor's. As it became evident, the audience burst into whispers. Taylor had either secretly worked with the design team to outdo Brooke or, even more audaciously, had given her ideas to a competitor designer. But did Taylor have a greater purpose, or was this just sabotage? According to some theories, she did this to remind Ridge, and the Forresters, of her worth as a creative force in her own right, not only as his ex-wife. It was a taste of her own medicine, according to some, and a direct reaction to Brooke's recent tactics. In any case, the message was unmistakable: Taylor is done being the supporting actor. Brooke's response: anger, shame, or retaliation? Never one to back down, Brooke was clearly rattled by the loss of her moment of glory. The betrayal was painful on both a personal and professional level. In the midst, Ridge was divided between appreciating Taylor's audacity and being angry at the mayhem she had caused. However, Brooke's next action will be crucial. Will she reveal Taylor's plan? She might ruin Taylor's reputation with the Forresters if she can demonstrate that she rigged the show. Strike back covertly? Since Brooke has never shied away from deceit, is it possible that she may uncover Taylor's prior weaknesses in order to discredit her? Return of Lure Ridge? Reminding Taylor that Ridge always seems to end up picking Brooke is the quickest way to cause her pain. The repercussions, a new phase in their conflict. Power, pride, and the never-ending struggle for Ridge's allegiance are at the heart of this fashion show rivalry. Taylor's action demonstrates that she is no longer the docile, understanding person she once was. Brooke will not take her retaliation lightly. In the meantime, everything will depend on Ridge's response. If he sides with Taylor, it might signify a huge shift in their love triangle. Taylor might come to terms with the fact that she will never really prevail if he stands up for Brooke. What comes next? This feud is far from finished, that much is certain. The Forrester family is on the verge of disarray due to Steffi and Hope's ongoing conflict and Eric Forrester's deteriorating health. Taylor's daring action has rekindled her feud with Brooke, and the consequences might change relationships, alliances, and even the future of Forrester Creations. Will Brooke's retaliation leave her rival reeling, or will Taylor's gamble pay off? Retaliation is best served on the runway in the world of the bold and the beautiful, that much is certain.